Hey, what's up guys? It's Obi. Happy Passover. I'm here at the Daniel Hotel in the Dead Sea. And I was visiting my grandparents and I snuck away for a couple minutes to make a video here. And I've been realizing this like more and more lately. The past, especially the past couple months, I've been coming in contact with like a lot of old friends and like seeing a lot of different people. And I realized like the only thing that you can really give everyone, that everybody has in common, is everybody needs to just bring Hashem in and talk to Him where they are. And I mean, because there's like a lot of like really wealthy people here with, you know, all sorts of different lifestyles, and you can't take anything away from somebody. Like somebody wants to start being more, let's use the word religious, even though it just means doing the same thing over and over, but somebody wants to become more connected, that everyone just has to start bringing Hashem into where you are. You can't take anything away, right? You can't be like, no, you have to stop doing this. You can't take anything away from somebody. All you can do is you can add on to what they already have. You can't tell someone, no, like you're not allowed to go take vacations and stuff, and you have to live in like a small neighborhood with a bunch of other super religious people, and it's not at all. That may be to be religious. If you want to be religious, so you want to have a system where you do the same thing, you know, as everyone else, so yeah, you can do that if that's what you're looking for. But if you're looking for a connection to Hashem, all you have to do is you just have to start wherever you are and start talking to Hashem from that point. And that's something that every single person has in common. Some people, because you don't have to give anything up, you don't have to. And it's the easiest way, like if you're trying to help like other people also, and you don't know what to start, like a lot of people put like a lot of focus on, you know, start keeping Shabbat, or put a focus on kosher, but everyone's in different situations, and the only thing that you know for sure that one person has to do is that they have to start talking to Hashem and just bringing Him into their lives, and everything else will come on its own depending on how big their connection is. If someone's not connected to Hashem at all, someone's not connected to God, so why would they want to keep Shabbat? And even if they do keep Shabbat, what's it going to do for them if it's not connecting them to Hashem? Hashem gave us all these mitzvot as ways to connect to Him, right? So if somebody is missing that first part of a connection to Hashem, so why would they want to keep Shabbat? And even if they do, maybe it'll be cool for a while because there's new food and it's like nice, and you know, you sit down and chill with your friends or family, and there's like the air. But like once that wears off, so once like the new food and the cool environment kind of wears off, so like you're left with nothing. So they're like, oh no, it wasn't for me. Shabbat wasn't for me. You know, I tried. It wasn't for me. But it's not. It wasn't for you. You never experienced Shabbat. Shabbat is a way of connecting to Hashem through the Shabbat. So that's why, like, I'm telling like so many people that like the first step is always just start connecting yourself to Hashem wherever you are. Just start talking to Him from wherever you are, whatever you do, whatever job you have, whatever you do for fun, even if it's forbidden, even if it's, you know, it's not what a religious person would do, or whatever you're doing, wherever you are, like just take that and connect it to Hashem, and that's like the most fundamental thing. And then everything else will come on its own. You'll start keeping Shabbat and you'll start to feel it bringing you closer to Hashem, so you'll be keeping it in the right way. And even if you're not keeping everything, but like the stuff you're keeping is bringing you closer to Hashem, so it's serving its purpose for you. And keeping kosher, making a blessing on a food before you eat it, right? If you don't have a connection to the person you're making a thanking, so it's like writing, you know, a thank you message to like an automated robot, you know, there's no meaning to it, right? If you're just saying a bracha to some kind of concept that you don't have, you're saying a blessing on the food to some concept you don't really have a connection to, so it's a waste of time. But if you don't have that initial connection, but then let's say you have that initial connection, that first connection, you're connected to Hashem, you're connected to God, so then everything else is going to come with it. You're going to be like, hey, I should thank Him before I eat this food, you know, He gave it to me. And it's going to be a blessing with meaning that you're actually thankful, not a blessing because as a Jew you're obligated to make a blessing, because the only point of the blessing is to bring you closer to God. If you're not taking it to bring you closer, so it's just a waste of your time. And that's why I think a lot of people feel like the insincerity and the kind of fakeness, because if you don't have God in Judaism, if you don't have God, so it's really fake. It's a whole bunch of just empty actions. It's a whole bunch of just empty actions, unless and people can sense that. They could be like, look, this is empty, it's old-fashioned, it's old school. But it's only old school because it's now old because we've taken the root out of it. But if we start putting like Hashem back into everything, like when you make a blessing, like think about, like, even if you just say it in English, or you just say, like, before, like, I'll tell you myself, like, I try to keep like most of the laws, even though like I don't understand a lot of them, and even if I don't feel some of them connecting me, but I try to do my best to keep them, because I know that that's not just that it's what's right, but that even if I can't feel it, it is connecting me. But sometimes, like, I'm like, I don't know, like, I don't remember, did I make a blessing, did I not make a blessing, or I don't know the law, like I made a blessing on this, but I don't know if that covers this, or all that stuff. So I'll just be, instead of like worrying and everything, I'm just be like, you know what, Hashem, like, really thank you for this food, and that's it. And that thank you is the whole purpose. It's not like, oh, but you know, I made a mistake, I didn't make the blessing. I said thank you, and it came from like a real place, because I have like that initial connection to Hashem. And I don't know, I'm just kind of like rambling about this, just because like I'm in the place here, and I see like so many people, like, just, they're going through all the motions and stuff, but it's not bringing them anywhere, because they don't know where their destination is. Your destination with anything you're doing is to connect yourself to Hashem. That's your end goal. So all these are steps as how to connect yourself to Hashem. But if you're just going through the steps, but you're not going anywhere, because you're not, like, have the plan of doing this to connect yourself to Hashem, so you're left with just nothing. It's like you went for like a nice pretty drive, but you didn't end up anywhere. If you don't have a destination, so you just, you know, wasted a whole bunch of time on a drive, right? If you don't have anywhere that you're going, so you just spent a whole lot of time in your car doing nothing. But if you have a destination, so then no matter what, as long as you end up there, so you ended up in that destination, and it's fine. And even if you made a wrong turn here, and even if you were, I don't know, you got stuck in traffic, or you had to turn around, you had to make a stop, but in the end you got there. So you got there. So it's the same thing with like the mitzvot. If you're doing them to connect yourself to Hashem, that's your goal. So as long as in the end you connected yourself to Hashem from it, so it served its purpose, because the commandments, they're not there to be religious. All you need to do to be religious is just do the same thing over and over again, and you can call it a religion. I mean, you can make a religion out of anything. But when we take Judaism, when we bring it down to a religion, it takes away all that essence of what it is, of a beautiful connection to the Creator of the world. And like, I'm not gonna pick up the camera and show you guys around, but like, Judaism is a way to connect to the one who created all this stuff, and to really feel that intense connection. It's not a moral system or a way of life. It's a way to connect yourself to like the most beautiful thing in the world. So just make sure, like, everything that you're doing, make sure you're doing it with the intention that, hey, look, my destination is to connect myself to Hashem, and that's my goal. Have an awesome Passover, guys.